also called Military USA. During U.S. Army All-American Bowl Week, we pay our respect to our sister property, the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, and to all the men and women outstanding and are currently serving our military. We thank you for your service. Let's give them a round of applause. We now ask our team captains to interview for the coin toss.
I need to change. I need to change over there.
Sports Complex on this January morning in San Antonio, Texas, the national semifinals for the 2013 Football University National Championship. Good morning, everyone. Neil Sika, Randy Rosenblum here to have some fun. Oregon, the 6th grade West Regional champs against North Texas, the Plains Regional champs in this first national semifinal. Oregon winning the toss and deferring. And Randy, an exciting time for these 6th graders. We'll get into this game in just a moment, but being here for the first time is truly special.
It really is, and it's great to have this part of the championship week, getting the 6th graders involved for the first time.
Friesen kicks off. It's Jake Fecks on the return for North Texas. They're in white, and they'll start with the football. They ran through that Plains Regional with ease, 42-0 against Dallas in their second round game. Then took down Oklahoma City before trouncing Iowa 46-zip in the regional final in a blizzard in Wichita. Two outstanding running backs as they come out under the direction of Kevin Schumann, starting at their own 44.
And I love Kevin Schumann. He's a mature young player. He can run the football and he can throw it. A dual threat quarterback.
Wrist ahead of J.J. Jackson in the backfield. He'll get it on the toss sweep. Forced back inside where he'll take it across the 45 to the 48. Good pursuit on the tackle by Blake Jackson and Ethan Flynn. He's the leader of that Oregon defense.
You saw what J.J. Jackson can do, his ability to cut it against the grain, and he nearly turned what would have been a negative play, and he turned it into a positive play, a gain of 5. Beautiful run by Jackson.
McFarling, Evans, Richards, Zerang, and Morales up front on the line for North Texas. First year as a group of teams in the tournament. This is Jackson, dicing his way into Oregon territory to the 40. A first down on the 2nd and 7 run.
This is how North Texas screwed up their head coach, Ray Mickens. It's when a football team in this tournament has been able to run the football. And you've seen Jackson on 2 carries get chunky yardage, and that offensive line doing a great job on that second play from the line of scrimmage.
Mickens, a 2-time All-American, the head coach of these 6th graders from North Texas. He played his ball at Texas A&M. 9-year pro, much of that with the New England Patriots. Under center, Schumann. Fumbled it quickly. Jumping back on that ball was Noah Richards, the center. Big play by the young man from Murphy, Texas, to keep the drive alive.
Fortunate play for North Texas, and that certainly is always the key. You don't want to turn the football over. You want to be disciplined. And North Texas and Ray Mickens has preached, let's be disciplined. They weren't quite disciplined on that play, but they were fortunate.
Split backfield on 2nd down and 8 at the 36. Christ. Working so well off that left side and using the legs for some extra yardage. He's close to a first down around the 29. Peterson, Mittberg, Taylor, and Starr make up a very good front 4 for the Oregon D. They've got Hensley, Flynn, and Jackson, the linebackers. Ritter, Friesen, the defensive backs. B.G. Weatherby as the safety. They'll blitz you, they'll bring the pressure. But so far, 2 first downs on this drive for North Texas.
And some excitement in that huddle for North Texas. You'll love how the kids celebrate after that last first down was indicated. They're starting to feel confident they can move the ball on Oregon.
Inverted wishbone. Jackson. Dragging along defenders. Breaking free. J.J. Jackson. Touchdown. 29 yards.
J.J. is a phenomenal athlete. He can change the game. He has the range on defense and the speed on offense. We just saw the speed. He has that breakaway speed, and he just gave North Texas an early advantage.
2 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. J.J. Jackson going 29 yards for North Texas and the 6-0 lead. Over 185 teams at 3 grade levels competing for a national championship. 10-minute quarters here as they will play for 2. Schumann to air it out for the first time. Wide open, has his man. It's Mickens, and they convert.
Didn't have to throw the football in the drive. Then when they go for the 2 for the first time, Schumann goes up top, and a perfect peg to Mickens in the corner. One of the factors for North Texas, they had not had good weather in their earlier games in the tournament. So Coach Mickens has been looking to air it out a little bit for Kevin Schumann, who can really throw the football. That's the first time we have good weather today. He's been able to air it out, and he looked good on that 2-point conversion, throwing it to Mickens.
7 plays, 2 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. The 29-yard touchdown run by Jackson, and the 2-point conversion from Schumann to Mickens. 8-0 North Texas. as they will kick off, and we will see the Oregon offense for the first time.
And now they're going to have to try to answer. I mean, North Texas came out here and made a statement. They ran it right down the teeth, right into the throat of the Oregon team. That was a very impressive drive. We'll see how Oregon responds.
One of 3 teams in San Antonio, West Regional champs, in green, and ready to respond. At the 30. Great return, taken all the way into North Texas territory by Max Lenzi, but a flag, or rather, that's just the tee. It'll be Oregon's ball with great field position at the 46.
Max Lenzi had something like 35 touchdowns during the season for his regular season squad and playing youth football. And that's a good guy to give you an answer immediately. What a response by Oregon. Sets them up in great field position. We'll take a look at a quarterback in Cade Knighton, who's outstanding.
And he's got a pretty special one behind him in Jalen John. He wears number 2. So excellent field position after Lenzi's return at the 46. He'll get it right away. He's one of the wing guys, kind of playing that H-back slot. There's not a lot of room coming across the grain there as Jackson, the man who scored the touchdown, he's also an excellent linebacker, brought him down.
Yeah, but a little misdirection there. You know, this is a fast North Texas team. That's a good play call by this Oregon coaching staff, trying to catch him off balance with the misdirection. But again, Jackson is so talented, he's able to run down the ball carrier Lenzi.
The front for Oregon, Seth Nomani, Austin Donahue the center, Logan Carr, and Tiger Shanks the right tackle. Here's Knighton to throw. That pass was in range, but broken up in the end. He was looking for Matthew Muth, the Happy Valley native. 3rd down upcoming for Oregon on their first drive. And
disrupting the play was R.J. Mickens. Yes, he's the son of Ray Mickens, and like Pops, who played in the NFL as a cornerback, R.J.'s just like him, and he made a nice play, knocking that one out of harm's way.
3rd and 8 at the 44. North Texas showing pressure. John's first carry. Just a couple. He's to the 41.
But they're in 4-down territory, and what you'll see in youth football a lot, if you have field position, you're going to go for it on 4th down. It's not like high school and college and pro. They will roll the dice. It's 4th and 6, 6.5 needed, somewhere in that neighborhood. They will go for it here, trying to convert. Still think it's a pretty good response by this Oregon team, whether they make it or not. They've been able to move the football. They got a good return, and they're showing North Texas they can play.
Beaver Creek native Knighton on the toss. John, nothing. Nowhere to go on 4th down and 6, and a turnover on downs as the North Texas D holds.
Well, we talk about being disciplined, and North Texas was disciplined on defense, and a beautiful play by Cortland Ford, the defensive lineman, to break up the play. He did not let the ball carrier turn the corner.
So North Texas scoring on their opening drive. They have the football back 4 minutes into this opening quarter, the first national semifinal for the FBU National Championship. 4 minutes east of downtown San Antonio here at Wheatley Stadium. On play action. Good find, it's Christ. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield. He's back into Oregon territory as he scampers to the 46. Gain of 15 and a first down.
Now what you've done with great success running the football on the first drive, you've been able to open it up with Schumann. We saw it on the 2-point conversion. Now they come out throwing here, and this offense looks very, very comfortable in the first quarter for North Texas.
When you think of the talent base from this North Texas team, essentially just 1/3 the entire region of Dallas, Frisco, Plano come to mind. There were also entries from Dallas and Dallas-Fort Worth. Fumble. Jackson got back on it. There was a problem with the exchange there as they get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's the second time they've had a problem. Both times, North Texas very fortunate to recover. So far, they've been their own worst enemy on those two plays, but you got to be very careful. Again, they talk about discipline, and that's the one thing that could bother them because they are immensely talented.
2nd and 10 at the Oregon 46. Outside of those exchange miscues, which have both been recovered by North Texas, they've looked solid. Out of the wishbone, this is Christ following blockers to the outside. Christ down the sideline. Cody Christ, 46 yards, touchdown North Texas.
There's a flag behind the play. It was an illegal block, I believe. So we're going to see if this one stands. I think there was a hold, and it's coming back. And I think it was an obvious hold. That's why he was able to turn the corner.
John Santiago, our referee, makes the call. And so it's ran off the board. Cody Christ's run nullified. Star of the Premier Youth Football League up in that Plano area. This will put them back in their own real estate.
Despite the miscue with the hold, this is such an impressive early showing by North Texas. They're getting chunk plays. They're firing off the ball. Their confidence level is very high. Oregon needs to make a play so they can have some confidence.
Clock running under 5 minutes in the first. 8-0 for the team in white. This is Jackson. Penalty, no problem. He will cruise for the score. 54 yards. His second touchdown as J.J. Jackson adds to the lead.
Crease, operating room, great speed, gone. That's what we just saw. The offensive line dominating the line of scrimmage, and then you have great running backs, multiple running backs. Christ is outstanding, and Jackson is just very difficult to handle. And in the open field, he can do what he just did, go the distance.
Runs from 29 and 56. They'll play for two again, already a 2-touchdown advantage.
And Neil, they've shown balance. The opportunity have been there to throw the football. They've been successful throwing it at times.
Same play they ran on the last conversion, and that's through the hands of Jackson, incomplete. 14-0 is the score with 4:28 remaining in quarter number one. North Texas leading Oregon in this 6th grade national semifinal. Many of these athletes that make up these teams, Randy, have went through the FBU process, the camps that have identified some of the top talent in the nation.
Well, there's nothing better than the FBU camps, and this is the creme de la creme of youth football from around America. And again, it's great to have them in the 6th grade division. And FBU's camps and their instructors, many NFL instructors have helped out. The camps are precious for these young men as they learn the game of football. And we've seen it. There's been some plays that have not been perfect, but all in all, considering the ages, these are 11 and 12-year-olds, the execution level has been great, and that's because they're going to these camps and they're getting the right tutoring at a very tender age.
Max Lenzi back deep once again. He had a very nice return.
Max Lenzi is fun to watch. I mean, you come to a football game, you want to watch a kid like Max Lenzi. He makes plays. Look out, green 44 can get it done.
Hunter Gilbert also back for the kick of Will Harbor. Taken short at the 45 and brought on ahead by Logan Horton out of Portland, that Sunset area. So at the 49, Oregon's had very good field position. The defense held tough for North Texas the first time out. A shade over 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter, but the North Texas offense in full bloom.
It really is, and their defense, as you stated, looked good in the first series of downs as well, but it's been their speed on offense and their ability to win the battle in the trenches.
Knighton back to work as Lenzi motions on first down. They give it to John. goes forward and then briefly into North Texas territory. Picks up 4 there to the 49.
Oregon's not going to go away from what they do best, and that's run the football with Jalen John. And there's really no reason to panic. I know they're down a couple touchdowns, but Oregon's a very good football team. They've had a terrific run to the semifinals, and they're not going to lose confidence even though they're down early. There'll be a lot of fight in this Oregon team. They've got a great community support, and they're here to try to win a football game.
Fantastic rivalry with Seattle. They beat them by 20 in the opening round. Into the air, Knighton's pass is off the fingertips of Caleb Bugan, 5'9" receiver out of Damascus, basketball star, and playing football with Oregon for the first time this season. So 3rd and long coming up. 3rd and 7 with 3:42 remaining in the first. It's North Texas by 2 touchdowns. Wins over British Columbia and Sacramento, and then that wild game in the regional final in Sacramento against Colorado, leading Oregon here for the first time. On the give, it's John. Nothing. Just so tough to run against that front. Cortland Ford from Hurst, Texas, is just hard to stop on the interior. And he had help from Keani Evans, one of the captains.
Yeah, Cortland Ford's been impressive early on, but again, Oregon going to what they do best, trying to establish Jalen John. And to the credit of North Texas, they won't let him loose. Obviously, he's a marked man today. They know how good Jalen John is.
So they will punt. Silas Starr, one heck of an athlete, stands back at his 42. Hex and Mickens inside their own 25 waiting for it. Took a bit of a North Texas bounce. And we'll come up to the 31-yard line where the team in white and red will take back over, leading it 14-0.
Well, again, they're in a very comfortable position, North Texas. They're 2 for 2, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Jackson's run wild. They feel very good about things.
Kevin Schumann, his dad, calls the plays. One of the assistant coaches, had a nice career at Penn State. On this first play of the drive, they give to Christ. He runs behind that powerful pulling line off the left all the way to the 45, where he picks up 14 and another first down.
That's a pretty good thunder and lightning package there with Jackson and Christ. They're taking turns, and again, there's balance in the running game. It's not just one guy. So you got Jalen John on Oregon's side, and North Texas can hone in on him. But it's not as easy for the Oregon defense because they're looking at Christ, they're looking at Jackson, and then there's Schumann who can throw the ball.
Well, the 2 guys on the ends of that beef up front average around 200 pounds. Here's Jackson coming back the other way to the near side. Tackle, and then Silas Starr will drag him down at the 45 for Oregon. But North Texas has it back in mean green territory.
Jackson using a straight arm a couple times there, so he's a physical running back. You'll love that. He was fighting for additional yardage.
Winding down as we're about to hit 90 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. It's been all North Texas. We've talked about wanting to throw more. They haven't had to, but Schumann will put it up here. Forced to the outside, he can run it. It was 2nd and short. He has the first down as he's to the 43. That'll move the sticks. Anthony Taylor in there on the tackle for Oregon.
And we were talking with Tom Schumann, Kevin's dad, and he said he can run the football. He likes to throw it like the young guys do, but he is a capable running back when he decides to run the football. So Kevin Schumann, that quarterback, is a dual threat, much like Knighton is on the other side. So you saw his ability to run. That's the first time he's tucked it and gone. And good recognition on where he needed to go to get the first down.
part was when you asked him about how far along he was compared to you. 6 years at least. Here's the give to Christ. Slicing his way to the 32, another 12-yard gain, a first down.
This has been some show by Kristen Jackson in that offense. Schumann orchestrating it as the field general, but all in all, I mean, again, North Texas is having a field day. This has got to be a great first quarter, and Coach Mickens and his entire staff have to feel outstanding about the way this has gone for them.
Inside of a minute, first quarter. Jackson with both touchdowns. Christ even had one wiped off the board. Jackson in search of maybe a first quarter hat trick. Instead he'll settle down to the 21. But another gain of 11 and a North Texas first down.
They just apply so much pressure with the alternating of Christ and Jackson. Between the two of them, it's been very difficult for Oregon to stop them. They haven't been able to have third down situations. They've been getting first and second first downs, just turning those down markers down, and they've been moving right down the field. Very dominant performance.
The sun is out. The wind has been felt here, though, on this first national semifinal. Christ, again, off left tackle, first and goal to the 4. Rips off 17 more on what should be the final play of the first quarter.
Boy, he has long strides and gets to the hole in a hurry. Christ, tremendous effort at the point of attack.
They had the shortest distance to travel of any team heading to San Antonio, but they ran for miles and miles in that first quarter. North Texas 14, Oregon nothing in our first national semifinal. Back to Wheatley in just a moment. This is the FBU National Championship. Welcome back. We're just 4 miles outside of downtown San Antonio to the east. Neil Seek and Randy Rosenblum. First national semifinal of the day at the 6th grade level, here for the very first time after playing in the sectional rounds last year. It's been all North Texas over the West Regional champs Oregon in that first quarter, Randy, 14-0.
177 yards on the ground for North Texas. J.J. Jackson, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, a magnificent first 10 minutes for him.
Jaquindon Jackson lined up in the backfield with Cody Christ. They've been the stars. Kevin Schumann's called all the right moves. In this 2-score lead, looking for more, first and goal to begin on this first play of the second quarter.
In the first quarter, Jackson averaged 20.3 yards a carry. Cody Christ, 12.2. You're getting those kind of yardage from your 2 running backs, you're doing quite well. By the way, Cody Christ, 4 carries, 49 yards. Quality work.
Let's not forget the 46-yard touchdown he had called back. Schumann to Christ, looking to get him in the end zone. And he's stacked up there. They'll spot him at the 1. Gang tackled by a slew of bodies in green. Horton was in there, Flynn, Jackson, second down.
Also love the work of Silas Starr, who's got 5 tackles already for Oregon. He's flying around but he's making too many tackles too deep into the secondary. That's, again, a tribute to the offensive front of North Texas.
Comes from a very athletic family. His mom, a track star at Oregon. I guess you have to be pretty good to run track at Oregon. 2nd and goal. Knocking on the doorstep. It's Schumann following his center. Easy peasy. And North Texas expands their lead. It's 20-0.
Well, when you can run the football the way North Texas has established the ground game, you're going to have success. And usually the running game is a barometer on which team is dominating the game. And so far, North Texas is closing in on 200 yards of real estate rushing the football. And you look at the other side, Jalen Johns carried it 4 times for 6 yards. So there's a great discrepancy, and that's, again, a credit to the offensive front of North Texas.
Here in this FBU National Championship, 23 points is where a running clock will come into play. They can get to 22 here, and they do. Fex from Koppel, a 5'3" receiver. His dad is an assistant coach at the high school and runs good routes. Ran one right there for the 2-point conversion, 22-0.
I'm impressed with their passing game. I mean, you know, obviously the running game is the difference, and they're dominating the contest, and they're having their way. But North Texas can throw the football, and the 11 and 12-year age group, you don't necessarily see a lot of great throwing teams, but North Texas can go up top. Schumann can throw the football, and he does have quality receivers, so if he's given time, he can hook up. But you just mentioned the rule of 23. If you get to 23-0, it's a running clock, and certainly that's early on the mind of North Texas. They know if they can get another score, they can shorten the game, and they have a big lead, and they're in a very great position to win the contesting. Go to the Alamo Dome for the finals on Sunday in the 6th grade division.
That will kick things off, and we'll have the coverage for you live on ESPN3. Our great crew here. Bring you all of the national semifinals throughout today. What a hit off that kickoff that squibbed, coughed up, and then recovered by North Texas. Will Harbor spotted that perfectly, and a monstrous hit to free the football.
I love the onside kick in youth football because you normally don't kick it that far down the field anyway. I mean, most teams start from right around the 40, 45-yard line. So it's a limited gamble. So not only is it now a limited gamble, you give yourself an opportunity to get the football back, and it was executed very well and with great aggression by North Texas.
Well, the first quarter wasn't rosy for this mean green squad from Oregon. And the start of the second, no better. Not even a minute in. A score, and North Texas with the football back. Jackson glides by 2 and then is lassoed down at the 48. Fine tackle by Starr, and he's having a big game defensively.
Again, Silas is a terrific football player, and again, he's flying all over the football field. This is a tight group from Oregon. They like each other. The chemistry is very good. They have that passion for the game. And they're going to have to call upon all of that now that they're down by 22. They need to stop North Texas. Oregon needs to make a statement defensively. They need to get one stop. They got to start somewhere.
We've got a timeout. 2nd and 7 upcoming. And we will step out. Back to San Antonio in a moment. It's all North Texas here early in the second. The FBU National Semifinals. Second down and 7 upcoming for North Texas. Here early in the second quarter. J.J. Jackson well on his way to 200 yards rushing. Cody Christ has had a fine game. Kevin Schumann is hooked up on a couple of two-point conversions as they are executing their game plan with aplomb.
They're having fun right now. You used the word plum and immediately fun came into my mind, and it's been fun for North Texas, and Oregon needs to make it fun by making a play.
Schumann flares to Jackson. All the room he wants down the near side. J.J. Jackson, touchdown number 3.
Execution. Beautifully done, and it's just a simple play really into the flat to get the ball at Jackson, get him on the perimeter, get him in space, and once he's in space, you just saw what he can do.
28-0. And the clock now will begin to run.
Well, it's supposed to. So far, they haven't started it with 8:13 left in the opening half, but you're right. Once it goes above 23, and it's currently at 28, it should be a running clock.
Now 2 minutes into this second quarter. Surgical-like precision from the North Texas running game, as they look to add 2 more through the air. On this jump ball, Schumann looking for Mickens. They hooked up the first time around, but it falls incomplete. North Texas 28, Oregon nothing here early in the second.
That was tight coverage from Gilbert Hunter in their corner. That was a nice play by the player from Oregon, and the clock has started, and they will stop prior to the kickoff, but there's 7:51 left in the half, so they did run the clock during the 2-point.
J.J. Jackson has ran for 2 scores. He's caught 1. Another look at an onside kick, but North Texas made contact with a football before it went 10 yards, so that's why the flag is out. So Oregon's offense, Randy, that's the question. Can they find anything positive here as we hit the midpoint of the second quarter with now a running clock?
Well, there's a problem. I mean, the clock's going to go fast now for Oregon. They got to establish they can move the football. They haven't been able to do that. We know they're capable. I mean, Jalen John is terrific. Knighton's an outstanding quarterback. The pistol offense is an offense that usually keeps youth teams off balance, but to the credit of North Texas, they've been able to hunker down and shut it down. So Oregon just needs something positive to happen, either offensively or defensively. Since it hasn't happened defensively, the offense has to start to match touchdowns. They need to score.
Knighton. That pistol look with John, who's the lead blocker. Had a good first block, but the pursuit pretty strong from Ethan Barr, who made the tackle for North Texas, as Knighton able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's team speed. It looked like Knighton made a nice play call, got some pretty good blocks up front, turned the corner, but the speed of North Texas, I was thinking, and you mentioned it earlier, this is only 1/3 really of the Dallas area represented by this North Texas team. You can imagine how good this squad could be if all of Texas was represented on their team.
Well, their 7th graders made a great push, lost in the regional final to Iowa, and we'll see later today. This is Bugan quickly to the flat, makes the reception, but no gain. And again, that tight coverage of the secondary is so good. North Texas's Will Harbor came up to make this
closing speed. Again, execution level there, pretty good for Oregon. Well thrown ball, good catch. Receiver caught it, turned upfield, and nothing there because Harbor was on the spot as he closed in a hurry. The speed of North Texas is so obvious, and it's got to be so difficult for the Oregon coaching staff to try to map out something against that wonderful speed.
They show pressure. And on the give to the outside, a loss. Gilbert carried it, but nowhere to go. Paul Pickens can finish the play, and he did so right there with a tackle.
Again, I love the play call. Misdirection, trying to use the speed to go one way and run around the speed the other way. But this North Texas team doesn't miss tackles either. In the open field, they're going to get you to the ground, and that's what they've been able to do. And again, Oregon turned aside.
So Silas Starr back to punt at the 43. And that is partially blocked. Will fall dead at the 45-yard line, but excellent field position for North Texas. They scored from right about that spot the last time out on the flat pass to Jaquindon Jackson, who's got 3 today.
Field position hasn't mattered, really. The way they've moved the football, it doesn't matter where they've taken over. It's just a matter that they feel so good, and it's such a dominant football team. And you know, you look out there and you think that's a team that's good enough to win a national championship, and they're well on their way. And it's a team that, you know, going in, I don't know what we're going to see in the next game, but this is a football team that looks like a national championship football squad from North Texas.
Maryland and Georgia, the team out of Cobb County, the second semifinal for the 6th graders. On first down, Schumann handing off. That's Will Harbor to midfield. He's out of Frisco. Really good linebacker for this group.
At this level, and even in the 7th and 8th grade, you'll see a lot of players playing on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They're all versatile because they're learning their trade and getting the opportunity as athletes to play different positions.
Going to hit 3 minutes on this snap here in the first half. Schumann on the out route has Mickens. And he's got a first down inside the Oregon 40. R.J. Mickens from Westlake. Shifty like Dad there.
Yeah, Dad said he has better hands than I did, and you saw those good hands. That ball was a little thrown high, and you know, not a bad throw from Schumann, certainly, but Mickens just plucked it out of the air, made it look easy with those wonderful hands.
Well, the North Texan team has it in cruise control right now. 28-0. Schumann off a play fake, looking long for Fex, and overshot him.
Yeah, he was open. Fex was by himself running free on a fly pattern. Schumann a little bit too much air under that ball, or it would have been another score.
Working into the teeth of the wind on this drive.
North Texas not relaxing offensively. I mean, they're airing it out, stretching the defense, going for more. You know, they're in a very comfortable position, but they're not satisfied, and you got to love that.
That great Oregon crowd trying to keep their team in green. Motivated it into a stop here. They make a nice play on the ball on the toss sweep. Christ carried it. And again by Starr and Horton. 3rd and 7.
You know, Logan Horton was leading that charge, and that's what Oregon needs to do. They got to stop the ground game. You know, it's one thing if, you know, the passing attack, you know, comes over the top and Schumann hits them down the field, but they have not been able to slow down the ground assault, and they must start there. They got to stop the running game.
Final minute of the half. Jackson on some misdirection. And they've got him bottled up, but Jackson salamandering his way to the 33. He got a lot of what would have been a loss, plus a few more back. That'll bring up 4th and 5.
Got a pretty good block from the quarterback, Kevin Schumann, coming back to help him out. But you just saw the great talent of Jackson. Oregon had it, you know, dead to rights. They had figured out the play, and Jackson was able to reverse his field and turn what would have been a huge loss into a little bit of a gain and gives them a better shot, a much more makeable fourth down situation.
Well, North Texas has called timeout to talk it over. And we will step out as well. Final moments of this first half. 6th grade FBU National Championship semifinals. Neil and Randy back with you. Wheatley Stadium, final 33 seconds of this first half. First game of the day. 27 degrees when the teams began arriving. North Texas in control over Oregon in this first 6th grade national semifinal. Schumann on 4th and 5 to the air. And it is intercepted. They will rule it a pick. Mickens, the intended receiver, but what a reel-in defensively by Horton.
Now, Logan Horton's a good football player. I mean, he's aggressive in that secondary. He's making plays, and you love to see his enthusiasm. And that's finally, now it's late in the half, only 12 seconds left. Oregon gets a play. They're way down, 28-0, but at least something to hang your hat on before you go back into the locker room.
Yeah, I just need you to tell me whenever you're on or off. Just shout it for me.
So 1st and 10.
Okay, that's fine.
On what could be the final play of this half. Silas Starr will fake the end around, but he's not going to fake out Keani Evans. And like much of that half, everything going the way of North Texas here in San Antonio in this first national semifinal. The team from north of Dallas, a 28-0 lead over Oregon. And while we have a moment, Tyler Olson standing by with the 6th grade head coach Ray Mickens.
Coach Mickens, obviously a big lead for you. Talk about JJ a little bit, killing it in the rushing game and the receiving game as well. 3 TDs for you. He's a game changer.
He's a special player. I mean, he hasn't been getting any credit. I mean, they've been talking about all the other running backs in the country and what they've been doing, and he hasn't been getting any credit. So he knows that, and so he's coming out here to make a point.
And you guys have been in this situation before. Obviously, you've had quite a large margin of victory in a couple of contests, a couple of 40-plus point shutout wins for you. What do you have to tell the team here at halftime to make sure they don't get too complacent?
Well, we've just been doing what we've been doing this whole time. I mean, we've been playing our type of football. We've been beating teams convincingly. We haven't been getting any credit. Every team that we've played, they've picked to win it all, including Oregon, that picked them to go to the championship. So our team feeds off that. What we're going to do is we're going to keep telling them to block and tackle, what we've been doing the whole time. It's all about blocking and tackling.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tyler. 28-0 North Texas, the score here at the half. The first 6th grade FBU National Championship semifinal.
Second half, Neil.
Halftime in San Antonio, the national semifinals of the 6th grade FBU National Championship. Neil Sika, Randy Rosenblum, all North Texas through the opening 20 minutes. Leading at 22-0 after the first quarter. Now 28-0 here at the half. And it has been the ground dominance, bar none, Randy, that has stood out. But more impressively, too, maybe the defense of North Texas and what they've been able to do to shut down Jalen John and company.
Yeah, I think that's very true. You know, when you talk about great teams, you got to start with defense, and you win national championships playing defense. I know we're in the age of a lot of scoring. It's great to see teams score a lot of points, and North Texas was magnificent offensively. But to shut down an Oregon team that's very potent, very disciplined, well coached, great athlete in Jalen John, solid quarterback, and good line play, and to really shut them down through the first 20 minutes is a solid statement by the North Texas team. They're an outstanding football team, and you're right, their defense was mighty impressive.
Jaquindon Jackson, 8 carries, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Also caught one for 47 and a score. Cody Christ running 6 times for 55 yards. Schumann had a 1-yard plunge to cap off a drive. He's 3 for 5 on the pick to end the half. Jalen John, 4 carries for just 6 yards. And it's been tough sledding for the offense to get going. Cade Knighton has had a couple of looks on the slants, but 1 for 3 through the air. Big game, though, for Silas Starr. He's got 7 tackles for Oregon.
Well, that's great for Silas Starr, and he's a tremendous player, but unfortunately he's having to make too many plays in the deep part of the secondary as they've been able to break through the line of scrimmage. And really the first half's a tribute to North Texas. Oregon's a good football team. We know that. That's the reason they're here. Their chemistry is wonderful. Again, we've talked about their community getting behind them. Their support's great. But North Texas was just a tremendous football team, and you got to say, hey, tip your hat to a football team that played nearly a flawless 20 minutes. There's really nothing. If you look through the stat sheet, to say North Texas needs to improve on. They threw the ball effectively when they wanted to throw the football. They ran it as well as you can run the football, and then we've already amplified on what their defense did. They shut down a very good Oregon offense.
Power blocking, the technique, much of that on display and learned at FBU camps where many of these all-stars applied their trade at such a young level. Now, Randy, of course, we've seen some great football, but to think that nerves playing a factor, being on the big stage at this level, it has to come into play.
Yeah, it does, but I don't think that hurt Oregon in the first half. I think nerves were not the factor. I think North Texas's talent was the factor. You just look down on the football field, and their team speed offensively and defensively is awesome. And again, that's going to fuel them as they go into the national championship game. You know, I like Oregon; they're a good football team, but I just don't think they can come all the way back from this kind of deficit. So that gets North Texas into the finals, and whether it's Maryland, whether it's Georgia, they're going to have a tough team to try to handle. This North Texas team is unbelievably impressive. They just definitely passed the eye test.
One of these kids for North Texas have played against each other in their leagues. In that Premier Youth Football League that's run in the northern part of the Dallas area. There were some rivalries at first, but they really bonded. They spent almost 4 extra hours on a bus after it broke down coming back from Wichita, stuck in the snow. But they were out there throwing the football around, having a grand old time, and they're having a grand old time right now, up by 4 scores here at the half as we're ready to commence the third quarter.
Even though it was cold early when everybody got here, the weather's pretty nice. So I think North Texas is thrilled to be in this kind of weather. Despite that first half, you cannot take anything away from Oregon. It's been a great run to the Final Four, and you just hope that their players and their kids play well in the second half, and you got to think they will.
Harbor to kick it off. They've had one onside kick to success, and this is taken on the hop at the 38. And on the return, as it's brought back out to the 32, is where Oregon will work with the football. It was Justin Bright who fielded that kickoff. They're a team that's traveled a long way to get here, and they've got one of the more boisterous fan bases in town.
And they'll stay optimistic even though the team is trailing. I mean, again, their fan support is wonderful, and I'm thrilled that we're able to see them come to Texas and support this football team, and they've been great all through this tournament.
Won a social media contest during the week. They had to celebrate that with a pizza party yesterday and a FBU film session. Third year of the FBU National Championship. Third year, an 8th grade champion will be crowned. Second year for the 7th graders in the inaugural 6th grade run to San Antonio. This is the first semifinal. A running clock with North Texas leading 28-0, and a pre-snap penalty will put them back further here on first down.
One of the reasons Oregon needs to score fairly quickly here, that'll change the clock. If they can get it back inside of 23, then it becomes a traditional clock. It's not a running clock, but they need to score.
There's John straight ahead as he gets back much of that penalty. And a few more, a gain of 7. His longest run of the day. He was sensational in that regional final against Colorado. Ripped off 2 scores, had 1 called back. He scored with 24 seconds left in a wild affair that sends them here, but work to do. 2nd and 9. John again, met in the hole by Christ. And it is just so tough. Not only once you get past that defensive front, the linebackers are talented. Jackson, Christ, and Harbor.
Well, Jalen John is a good football player, and I like the fact that they're going back to him. I mean, he's the guy that got him here. He scored 9 touchdowns in the tournament. They wouldn't be here without Jalen John. You want to try to establish the running game. Can't worry about the scoreboard and the clock at this stage. You got to just get your basics down, to go back to fundamentals, and Jalen John is their fundamental star. There's a big 3rd down opportunity. Let's see if they can pick it up.
3rd and 6 at the 35. John not gonna get there. Got about 3. Cortland Ford, called that name a couple of times today. He's got to the outside, moves so well for a big man. 4th down and 3 coming up.
Got to go for it. I mean, you know, you're in your own territory. You're not even to the 40-yard line, but you're in a running clock situation. So the game is going to be shortened if you don't, you know, convert here. So you got to convert, get the 1st down, get points, and get it underneath that 23-0 so you can make it a regular clock.
Knighton under his center, Donahue. He'll keep. Down he goes. Look at the surge and hit of the gap by Cody Christ.
Boy, he's been good on offense, but Cody Christ is a defensive player. Shoos everyone away from him, and that speed to the football. You know, when it first developed, you thought Knighton was going to turn it upfield, a little bit of a read option look, and he had a little bit of a crease, but flying out there to get him was Christ. He really came down, running downhill to make a play. That was a terrific effort. And again, North Texas is making plays, and it's frustrating for Oregon, but it's just the talent of North Texas.
And they're back to work. Their first drive of the 2nd half. And in no hurry. The clock is, though, it's running with this 4-touchdown lead. Christ with the big tackle. Now he goes for the big run. Putting the exclamation point here on early this 3rd quarter. Touchdown, Cody Christ.
Well, that is an accent point, and it's going to probably seal the game. It's going to be North Texas into the championship. It's been the same ingredient that worked in the 1st half as started the 2nd half. Great blocking up front, a couple great running backs, and Jackson and Chris this time. Chris able to take it into the end zone, and really that's been a formula that's worked for Mickens' football team.
Had 1 called back earlier in the 1st half, but that one goes for 36 and 6 more. 34-0. A running clinic by this offense. Schumann converts. Nice catch. Reeled in by Dayton Toney out of Frisco. And the outstanding young athlete who stands at 5'3", adds 2 more for a 36-0 lead midway through this 3rd quarter.
done for North Texas.
When they've been able to work on the passing game, usually it's been on the 2-point conversions.
Really? I mean, they've had everything working for them today. This has been a clinic. This North Texas team has been truly magnificent.
They're going to have to set their alarms for early Sunday morning because the Dome is in sight. But this, a fine return, and the special teams game has been pretty decent all tournament long for Oregon as it's brought ahead to the 45. Hunter Gilbert scampering up to give the Mean Green good field position.
Hunter Gilbert's been impressive on defense. Pretty nice return there, almost broke it for a touchdown. I really like Hunter Gilbert. He's really played well for Oregon.
A star sprinter for his track team. We saw some of that speed, but they're against this running clock. This 36-point deficit.
North Texas was the favorite coming in. Portland, a lot of these kids are from Portland, and Oregon was the dog here. But I mean, we didn't expect this kind of game. Again, North Texas has been better than even advertised.
Knighton to throw. Complete. Lindsay near the marker at the 45. There's a flag in the backfield.
A bit of late hit too. Let's see if they call it a late hit. I think they do. Not only was he hit, there was a heavy pressure on him. He hung in the pocket, and despite the hit and the late hit, he was able to hang in there and make a gorgeous throw.
So Knighton stood in there, stood tall, completing the pass, taking the contact, and they'll add on after the personal foul.
You want a quarterback that's tough, and Cade Knighton just showed you his toughness. By the way, his mom, Frankie Butler, was a tremendous basketball player at UCLA. That was her maiden name, but Frankie Butler was an outstanding player. So it's in his genes. There's athleticism in there, and that was a nice play by Cade.
Had a great game through the air in the second round against British Columbia, threw for 3 touchdowns. Not just his second completion, something positive, which was desperately needed for Oregon. The run by Starr to the 26.
Check 1-2, check. Okay. Check 1-2.
Inside of 2 minutes. After Starr's carry, this throw. Bugan on the slant. It was in and out of the hands of Paul Pickens. You've got Mickens and Pickens on the corner. We've been talking all game long, Randy, about this North Texas offense, but the D's pretty good too.
No, D's great. And Pickens had the inside track to the football. It looked like he was going to get the interception, so he's aptly named Pickens. He nearly had the pick.
Maryland and Georgia. They're 6th graders based out of the Cobb County area. That's the second national semifinal, the first of 6 here right now. As we wind down on the 3rd quarter, North Texas. A 36-zip lead. Knighton under siege, and he's dropped. At the 36-yard line on the sack. Gonna bring up 4th down, J.J. Jackson. What more do you want from the young man? He's done it all. He's in there on the tackle.
Well, at the youth level like this, you see players step up, great players dominate, and you can see that he must have been great in the FBU camps because Jackson is just sensational out here, and it's his speed, it's his aggressiveness, and his determination. And one thing we've seen so far from North Texas, they have not relaxed with the lead. A lot of teams, when they get a lead, sometimes will back off. They have not backed off. They've been terrific throughout.
Comes from closer inside the Metroplex in Westlake, and on 4th down, Knighton forced to throw. Well, helping Jackson on the previous play and then getting the sack on his own there. Their biggest lineman, maybe one of their biggest future stars, Travis McFarling, as the 3rd quarter comes to a close here in San Antonio. The sun shines for North Texas. They lead it 36-0 here. The 6th grade FBU National Championship National Semifinals. Opening play of the 4th quarter. After the takeover on downs, a 1st down carry. And Ethan Barr knifing his way to midfield for a pickup of 8. 36-0 North Texas. You'll seek a Randy Rosenblum as we begin quarter number 4, this first national semifinal. The clock has been running since early in the 2nd. It's been all NTX.
Yeah, to the tune of 230 yards on the ground. And again, there hasn't been that many plays. That's on 20 carries, 230 yards.
Schumann giving off here to Preston Forney out of Southlake, Texas. Really hard worker getting his first carry of the game. Now you're getting to see some of the depth of these North Texas stars, the 6th graders. Todd Cadwallader, their team director, putting together a solid group here. And at the 7th grade level, they fell just shy, but these 6th graders going to have a date in the Dome on Sunday to kick things off. And a 1st down here as they continue to chew up more clock. Barr again for the 1st down.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't matter who's in there. If you have that kind of blocking up front, you're going to have success with the running backs because they're all good. These are all stars. So you know, the offensive line continues to get the job done, winning the battle in the trenches. If you do that, you're going to win football games.
Here's Barr again. Great lead blocking. He's knocked out around the 30. Hunter Gilbert there. He's been in on a number of plays today for Oregon. And this will, and it always is for one team, the disappointing factor of coming down here. You're only going to have one winner. But they brought a lot of excitement to the Pacific Northwest, to Stumptown, and beyond up there in the state of the Furs. On the give. Great play in the backfield. Forney brought down. And he had a host of defenders getting in there to make the tackle. Taylor, Mittberg. Three minutes gone here in the 4th.
And we don't want to minimize what Oregon's accomplished. It's been a great run to the semifinals. And by getting here, you have the experience of traveling to San Antonio. And for all these young guys, it's been a wonderful experience. I know they're going to come up short today, but you got to hang.
touchdowns in the first quarter. All academic from there is Harbor, grinding back to the original conversion spot. No good. But a 42-0 lead is what the scoreboard reads as the clock runs down around 3 minutes here in the fourth.
And again, we've been in a running clock for the entire second half virtually. So North Texas knows what's in front of them. They know they're going to the national finals on Sunday, and they're a deserving football team. And again, whether it's Georgia or Maryland who is their opponent, Georgia or Maryland better be ready, because this is a powerful North Texas team basically playing in their home turf. I know it's North Texas rather than San Antonio, but they're Texas kids and they want to win the national title in Texas.
One of the really neat features for both of these teams at the welcome orientation here in San Antonio on New Year's Day. Many of those college football fans out there know the Alamo Bowl featured Oregon and Texas. Both teams got special messages from the schools, their players, and coaches wishing them well here. It was a nice touch and feature.
So this is revenge for North Texas since Oregon won the Alamo Dome over Texas. North Texas is getting the retribution today over the Oregon team here in youth football. But again, I go back to the camps and FBU, because as you look out, and we have witnessed this game today, Oregon has been very disciplined too. They haven't made a lot of mistakes. You look up on the scoreboard, these are scores off of execution and plays, big plays from North Texas. It's not like Oregon's turned the ball over and given them easy touchdowns. North Texas has had to earn it. And the camps have done a wonderful job at FBU with all these players. You can see how they know how to play the game at a very young age.
Marcus Mariota, the Oregon quarterback, one of those wishing the young Oregonians well. And he, a U.S. Army All-American, all tied into the week here in San Antonio. That game tomorrow, featuring the finest prep stars in the country. One day, some of these FBU National Championship participants hope to be playing in that very game.
And they might. I mean, we've seen out of youth football, Sony Michel, who played in one of our all-star games for East Bay. He's now in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. We've seen Christian, who's going to play McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey's son. He was great in one of our youth all-star games for East Bay a couple years ago. He's going to be in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl as well, one for the East, one for the West. So these players are certainly capable. We're going to see some stars emerge down the road. Some household names will come out of this game.
Procedure on the kickoff, so they back them up 5. We're inside the final 2 minutes, and on that live ball, Lindsey will fall on it at the 28. So the final time Oregon will have the football here on this 2013 crusade, a special one at that.
How about North Texas, though? They shut out Dallas to start 42-0. They gave up 12 points to Oklahoma City in their third round game. They had a bye in the opening round. In the quarters, they beat Iowa 46-0. And here they're up 42-0. That defense, and we talked about it, has been outstanding.
Minute and a quarter remaining. Jalen John. Not going to find his way most likely to his 10th touchdown of the tournament, but this is a name to look out for down the road in the Pacific Northwest. He played up with 7th graders during his league season.
And remember, these guys are kids, and Jalen's a nice kid to talk to. And he likes to talk about food, and he's eaten as many as 6 hamburgers in one sitting. He's got a tremendous appetite, and he's got a great appetite for football. He's in great shape. He can get away with eating 6 hamburgers, and he's going to have a very bright future.
Here he is once again. But he meets his counterpart on the other side. That's Jackson, who plays a whale of a linebacker, too. 3rd and short upcoming. Final seconds tick away in this first national semifinal. 6th grade North Texas, never in doubt. As John gets the final carry. dominance for the team in white and red from start to finish, and they will play for the first ever FBU 6th grade national championship Sunday morning in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. 42-0 the final score. Complete performance on offense and on defense, as they will await the winner of Maryland and Georgia. The man who was the alpha dog, Jaquindon Jackson. His name has been called all tournament long. JJ with 3 more today in the national semifinal. He is standing down by with our Tyler Olson.
All right, thanks, fellas. Joined here by Jaquindon JJ Jackson. Phenomenal game for you, but first let's talk about the team. You guys are headed to the finals. How does that feel?
It feels good, really good.
You on the field today, man. How about some of these stats? You ready for this? 8 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 catch, 47-yard touchdown. You threw in a sack on defense as well. Talk about how you think you performed out there today.
I think I performed really good, but I couldn't do it without the team.
What makes this team so good? Is it the talent? Is it the chemistry? Is it kind of a combination of everything? Talk about your teammates a little bit.
Well, it's really everything. They focus on the game. They have good sportsmanship. And they really I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you've said enough. You've said enough, and the scoreboard speaks for itself. 42-0, another big victory for North Texas. You guys are headed to the championship. Good luck, my man.
Thank you.
Go get them. Back to you guys.
Young man in JJ Jackson, a big smile on his face. But talking about his team, his line up front, and North Texas gets it done emphatically here in the national semifinal. 42-0 the final score. And Randy, as we look ahead to that Maryland-Georgia game upcoming, but final thoughts on this one, a North Texas performance from start to finish that stole the show.
Perfection. That's what I would say about North Texas. I mean, really, you can't point your fingers at any negatives. A couple times early, they put it on the ground and they were able to recover it with poor snaps. But other than that, it was a 10. You know, a perfect 10. They just dominated the game. They established the ground attack. Their defense controlled the line of scrimmage. Oregon couldn't get first downs. The Oregon defense couldn't get off the field, and when they got off the field, it was after North Texas touchdowns. So North Texas is the better football team. They deserve to go to the national championship. And I don't know what we're going to see coming up with Georgia and Maryland, who are good football teams. But whichever wins, they're going to have a tough assignment on Sunday because North Texas made a statement today.
A sixth of the way through the FBU National Championship semifinals. 42-0 North Texas over Oregon. Maryland and Georgia, our second 6th grade national semifinal, coming up shortly as we've got live coverage for you throughout the day. But until then, for Randy Rosenblum and our great crew, I'm Neil Sika. So long for the moment from Wheatley Stadium.